Hello and welcome to the Day Ahead. It is Tuesday, July the 21st. I'm Andrew Gagan. Well, the local market is set to fall at the open with ASX futures down 0.4%. It was a mixed session on global markets overnight as the chipmakers recovered some of their recent losses. Oil prices continue to climb as Yemen's Iran-aligned Houthis declared a naval blockade against Saudi Arabia. Wall Street's major indices finished lower as the Middle East tensions weighed on investors' minds, while they also looked ahead to earnings reports due from the major tech companies later this week. Among them, Alphabet, shares of which gained on a report that the company is developing a server chip designed to optimise its Gemini AI model by improving efficiency and easing computing capacity constraints. Domino's shares finished up after the pizza chain's quarterly revenue edged past Wall Street estimates while it maintained its annual sales forecasts. Apple was the biggest drag on the S&P 500, while the biggest boost came from Microsoft. Investors are awaiting results from chipmakers such as Intel and Texas Instruments this week after the Philadelphia Semiconductor Index ended last week more than 20% below its late June record high, confirming a bear market decline. Shares of Iron surged 20% after the Nasdaq-listed AI data center operator said it signed a $2.8 billion worth of contracts with leading AI developers. A US court has temporarily paused Paramount Skydance's $110 billion takeover of Warner Brothers Discovery, saying it likely violates antitrust law. And Europe's largest airline by passenger numbers, Ryanair, reported an after-tax profit that missed forecasts and warned that its average fares are set to be modestly down on the previous year due to uncertainty around the Iran war. Well, Yemen's Iran-aligned Houthis have said they will impose a naval blockade of Saudi Arabia, further raising the threat to global energy supplies and trade beyond the Gulf. Iran has been pressing the Houthis to close the Bab el-Mandeb gateway to the Red Sea if the US continued to attack Iranian power infrastructure. In the UK, Andy Burnham has become Britain's 7th Prime Minister in a decade and has pledged to deliver a new economic model. He unexpectedly named former Defence Minister John Healey to be his Chancellor of the Exchequer, prompting speculation about a bigger increase in military spending. Well, benchmark British borrowing costs rose and the sterling dipped on expectations the new Prime Minister would adopt a looser fiscal policy. In the US, Treasury yields rose as oil extended its recent gains. The US 2-year rose to 4.23%, the 10-year at 4.6%. Australian 3-year government bond yield futures rose to 4.59%, while the 10-year was back above 5%. The US dollar index up around 1/3% on the day. The Aussie currently trading at 69.9 US cents. Oil prices rose in a volatile trading session as the market considered the threat posed by Yemen's Houthis. Brent crude futures up 1.3% at around $89 a barrel. Gold edged lower. Spot gold currently just above $4,000 an ounce. Copper futures rose 1.5%. Iron ore down 0.5% to $101 a ton. And Bitcoin is currently trading above $65,000. Ahead today, New Zealand's second quarter inflation data is released on the local corporate calendar. Quarterly updates are expected from Alkane Resources and Hub 24. That is your day ahead. See you again tomorrow.